Okay, today we're going to look at a system to control the lifting column here with a third-party interconnection board called a QIF board. Some people pronounce it QIF. Let's talk about this system. So I've got a QSYS CoreFlex 8 here. I've got a PoE switch here with 4 ports. I'm using 3. I've got some infrared door sensors here, a desk touchscreen here. The QIF board is here. The control box for the lifting column here, and the lifting column itself. So we're going to kind of do this backwards. So on this lifting column, I've got these two 24-volt relays, and these are controlled with 24 volts DC power over here. So I've got white for the up line, I've got red for the down line, and I've got a common line which is black jumped between the two C's. Okay, now this all is connected on this cable, which is connected to the QIF board, and it's connected to the podium terminal. And you can see on the board it says up, down, and ground. And so I've got white and up, red and down, and black and ground. All right, now this is controlled by the output connector on the QIF board. And you can see the output connector is labeled right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 is up, 2 is down, 3 is auxiliary, and 4 is a contact. So if we go back over here, we can see that there's an auxiliary output that you can use with this QIF board, and there's a dry contact connection here. The output, so this is the output cable that is supplied with the QIF board, and it is labeled outputs, and it goes to the back of my GP or my CoreFlex, and it is connected to the outputs on the back of the CoreFlex, and I'm using black for output 1, red for 2, green for 3, and white for 4. All right, so that's the output side. Now the inputs would be your door sensors. So I have my infrared door sensors here, and I have them wired into a breakout from Phoenix. Weidmuller and Wago also make them to go to Ethernet patch cable, which I have connected to the Ethernet RJ46 jacks on the QIF board, and there are 3 of them. So you could technically have 3 sets of door sensors. 1, 2, 3. I've got the ground connected to line 8, and I've got power to line 4, and I've got the signal from the sensor connected to line 2. All right, and all of that goes here to this input cable right here. And down here it says input 6, 7, 8, and ground. Now that's all going down this input cable and connecting to the input terminals on the Core 8 Flex. It could be a GPIO, a GP 8x8. It doesn't matter. It could be a Core 100. Doesn't matter. So 3 lines of input, black, red, and green, and then the ground line white. Now, something important you should know is this ground line is shared with the output cable. So you can't run just outputs with this board. You have to have the input cable connected as well. So that's a caveat you should know about. All right, so back here, I've got my, I'm gonna turn this light off so it doesn't shine on my, there we go, so it doesn't shine on my touchscreen. And the infrared sensor, when the doors are closed between the main chapel and the overflow, the infrared sensor is receiving a signal from the emitter, and that's why the red light is on, and that's also why the green light right there is on. And also I've got a message on my touchscreen that says, hey, the overflow doors are closed, and it has a green indicator light. So if I were to open the doors, it would break the infrared signal. So I'm going to break the signal by using this card, and now the signal is broken. There is no light there, and there is no light there, and the touch screen says overflow doors are closed, and it's got a red indicator, meaning no, the overflow doors are not closed. That's how that works. Now for the pulpit or the podium lift, if I use the touch screen here, I'll try and get both of them in here at the same time. If you watch the tape on the lift, if I press the up button, the lift goes up. If I press the down button, the lift goes down. And you will also see the lights on these relays up and down. All right, the QIF board is running these 24-volt relays with this auxiliary power supply, which is feeding 24 volts to the QIF board. In the software, I'm just using the Core 8 Flex here, and I'm using the built-in inputs and outputs here. They are all set to the default of a digital input, in this case 3.3 volts, all of them. And if I click on the outputs, that changes over here, and all the outputs are 3.3 volts. So you don't have to change these settings. These are the default settings with the QSYS products. And then I also have a note here telling me what each thing is doing and reminding me that the ground is for the outputs too, and that over here the ground is supplied by the inputs cable. So that's the way to program and set up a podium lift or pulpit lift system with the QIF board. Okay.